facial hair currently. So
welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing?
Hope you guys are having a great day. I actually got sleep last night.
I got
sleep.
Yeah, proper sleep. Like you woke up feeling rested and whatnot.
I actually went to bed at a reasonable time, like 10:30. I laid down. I got home last night. It was later.
Yeah.
I climbed into bed, and I was lying there. My brain was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm going to sleep." And my brain is like, "But it's only 10:30. We've got like hours." And then I was like, "Nope." So then, so I was lying there, and like my blanket was like wrapped funny up underneath me. So I was like, oh, it was uncomfortable. So I spread my sheet out, right? And I laid down, and then like I had this itch on the back of my calf. So I scratched it, and then I was laying there, and then something was like poking me like in the, like underneath my t-shirt. So then I scratched that, and then there was like this hair on my pillow that was touching my face. And I was like, "Argh!" I refused to move anymore. So then I lay there, and I had this itch. I was like, I'm not scratching it. I'm going to sleep. And then every part of my body itched. Every part of it, because I refused to move. And then finally I got to sleep, and I slept for like, I don't know, 10, 11, 8, 9, 10 hours. 10 hours?
That's not too bad.
Yeah. And I woke up. I feel good.
Yeah, I slept for 5 hours.
5 hours.
5 hours.
Well, I tried it. Let's see, 10 hours. I think I slept more last night than I did in the last 6 days.
See, mine wasn't
Combined.
I was the fact that I went to bed at like 1 a.m. or something. I went to bed at a reasonable time. My issue was just that I couldn't fall asleep.
Oh, see, and that was my problem, was I couldn't get to sleep once I decided that I wasn't going to move anymore. And then like every part of your body itches because you make this decision, and your body's like, really? Well, what if I do this?
Yeah.
So, I heard this trick one time. It's like if you close your eyes and you breathe in and count to 1, you breathe out, count to 2, and then you start over again. 1, 2. And you actually count it while you're breathing, and your brain is like, boring. So I think that's what happens.
Yeah, and then there's just the counting sheep and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I think that's it too.
Numbers are boring. Math is irrelevant.
Monotonous. And yet, that's what Mom always did when you were in trouble. Get over here right now before I count to 1.
1, 2. No wonder I hit the ground asleep so many times.
It took me, I was in trouble so much that I don't think I learned to count past 2 or 3, and I was like 15 years old.
You just heard someone counting 1, 2. They're at like 17. You're like, what kind of mystical number is that?
Yeah.
What is that? What kind of magical stuff are you trying to pull here? Those numbers don't exist. Those numbers exist. It's like 11.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't exist. What are you trying to pull here?
Shouldn't it be 1
No, 11.
But you have 15, 16, 17. Why is 11 11? Shouldn't it be 1?
Nope, 11.
2
and then 12.
3.
12 and teen.
Why 13?
13 is just 13.
But even in Spanish, it's once, doce, trece, catorce, quince, and then it starts with the
I say, don't look at me, man.
16. 16.
I didn't go to Spanish class. You expect me to be able to count past 3?
17, 18. It's like 10 and 6, you know what I mean? But why is it not 10 and 1?
I don't know. All I know is today we're drinking. You want to know why? Because today's National Beverage Day. So today we're drinking. It doesn't matter what we're drinking. It could be orange juice.
I actually choked on some orange juice.
Got the
directly
pulp.
From the orange.
Got the pulp.
Just a little bit ago. So welcome to the show. It's National Drink Whatever You Want Day.
Yeah, National Beverage Day.
Yeah, so you can drink whatever you want. We just prefer that you do not drink it from the toilet. But if you must, flush twice.
Today is also No Homework Day, which is relevant because I have no homework. Just a test to study for that determines whether or not I pass high school.
So I have paperwork that I was supposed to do that I'm behind on, and I had to go do some other things instead today. And so I thought I was going to try to catch up on it tonight, but now I decided that, in the spirit of the National Day, I shall not.
3 a.m. Oh, well, day's over. Time to do my work.
I'm going to be like lying in bed at 10:30 tonight. My brain's going to be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, shh.
Nope. Just, hey, you remember that? No.
Nope. No.
Can't have. Nope. Doesn't exist. If I can't see it, doesn't exist.
Can't do homework now. No homework day. Well, skip the English. Obviously, if you can understand the words,
fail your English classes.
if you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth right now, then you know enough English to get by. Skip the homework.
Today is also World Password Day. I wish I was joking.
World
Password Day.
Okay, so when you get that phone call from that guy that says, hey, I'm with the IT department, can you give me your password? Refuse.
Apparently, this has been a thing since it's observed the first Thursday in May, and it's been happening since 2013.
So I feel like I was around for the 2013 thing. So everybody recommends you go in and you test your passwords, change your passwords, or make them better or something, right? Is that what it is?
No, it literally just says World Password Day. There's no explanation for it.
I think I want to say, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I think Google started it as a security feature or security to help you, right?
Security, who's a what's it?
Take this day to go in and if your bank account, your other bank account, your password to your email, your work email, and everything else that you have online is the same password. That's bad. Don't do that. And change it.
That's why I have 47 separate passwords. That's why whenever I log into something, thus begins the guessing game as to which password is correct.
I used to memorize mine, and they were all different. Now, so okay, I'll give you all a little tip, and I don't do this anymore. But if you insist on having all different passwords and you have a hard time memorizing them, and you don't have a system like I do, because I have, never mind. I was gonna say I was gonna do some things in hexadecimal, but I'm not gonna give you my thing. So anyway, come up with a base password, okay? Something that is hard to do, and this is another trick. The hardest character to guess on a password, do you know what it is?
No, I probably wouldn't guess it.
I know, because I actually took a security class just recently. The hardest character to guess in a password is the space.
I would say spade.
Yeah, if you hit the space key somewhere in your password, if it's allowable,
Yep.
it is the hardest password for a password cracker or generator to get for some reason. So let's say
So they can get spade before they get space.
The space key.
Yeah.
Like an actual space.
If there's a key command that if you hit it puts a little spade in. So password cracker can guess a spade before space.
Yeah, because it is a character. It's looking specifically for a specific character.
But who has a spade?
Okay, so here's what you do. You come up with the password. So that's difficult to think. Like the word gold, and don't use that one, and I don't use that one, but
Golden.
Gold. You have just a random characters of a key part of your password.
Yeah.
And then if you have a Hotmail account, you would integrate that with your main password. So if your password was gold57 or whatever, right? And I'm only saying that. Oh, let's say digitalsav57. Okay, that's your password. Digitalsav57, and then at the end, you would put MS for Microsoft.
Yeah.
And if it's a newer computer and you needed to change it, you could do MS and then 10 because it's Windows 10, right?
Yeah.
Or if your bank account is you bank at the First Bank of Kalamazoo or whatever, right? You would have Digital Sat 57, and then at the end of that, you would do 1ST, B for bank, or K for Kalamazoo or whatever. And sometimes you could put it in front of your password or behind your password, but that's way you could remember it, but still make it complicated. And if somebody gets your one password, they might not know that MS10 meant Windows, and it'd be harder for them to break into your bank account, you know.
Why don't like password crackers want to just take your security classes? Take security classes, take programming class, then make the most sophisticated password cracker on the planet.
I am really overprotective of my data, and so I have like my data is encrypted on an encrypted drive, and you've seen like it took like what 3 days to encrypt one of my hard drives here.
It was a pain.
Yeah, it's just I feel good when it's done, and then I went back and I unencrypted my OneDrive and then re-encrypted it with a better encryption.
See, I just make my stuff annoying. My stuff isn't encrypted, but I take if I need one thing, I take it and I split it into different pieces across like 7 different hard drives. So you have to find all 7 and then put it in order for it to work.
Yeah. Or you could go through and name all of your files the same name, and then good luck finding which.
I've got a file that's got 782 different pictures that are all it's literally just a picture of a thumbs up, and they're all labeled different things like stop, don't go any further, I warned you, don't do it.
And it keeps going.
And if you get all the way to the end of there's a picture of a newspaper article that I forget what it said because I did this back in 2017. It's still there. I forgot it existed until I found it yesterday.
Well, don't change your password like every... Yes, you were supposed to.
I haven't done that once.
My passwords used to be complicated. It was something that was important to me that I converted to hexadecimal. I'm not going to say what it was, but that's what it is.
What about the Dewey Decimal?
Converted it to the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what I was doing.
Yeah, try guessing that. Because you're like, oh, it's a hex decimal point. It's like, yeah, super common. No, dude.
Yeah.
Dewey Decimal System.
So I took my main key, which was a hexadecimal, and then I added like what I used to do with what I told you with my bank and everything else, and that was basically Dewey Decimal, you know, MS10.
Yeah.
Or 1STBK. And
yes.
My McDonald's password, MCD.
One straight track Burger King.
So I think the top of our good news today is that you're coming close to graduating. And you're going to like an award ceremony tonight?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and
an
you
award ceremony. I already told him if I get a participation award, he just needs to email me and tell me not to come. If that's what's happening and I'm getting a participation award after I lead my own class, I swear to God.
If you get a participation award tonight, I'm going to show up there, okay?
If I get a participation, I'm still gonna be super proud. I'm gonna act super proud, and then I'm gonna break it over my teacher's head.
I'm gonna stand up at the back of the room and yell as loud as I can. I was like, speech. So you better have one ready.
I'm great at improvising. We had to do debates for government stuff about political views. I didn't study anything. I read 3 points that someone gave me, made the rest up from there.
Okay, some salve. We just said it's National Password Day, so go in and change your password, and you will thank us later. Better record this speech.
Speaking of National Password Day, while we were at IVIC, a buddy of mine, name is Josh, got an email saying that one of his Ubisoft account had been locked due to too many incorrect password tries.
Attempts. Yeah. I just recently started doing the dual verification thing with the app on my phone. Have you done that?
I do it with like Steam and Ubisoft and Epic Games and whatnot. All the stuff that I know that I have literal thousands of dollars worth of stuff on. Yeah, that's where I have my verification stuff set up.
And like the password rotates every like 10 seconds.
Yep.
It changes.
Yeah, that's why it's like, oh, let's play a game. Password.
Yeah. No, my phone's about to die. My phone's about to die.
And you hit that one key wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't figure out which one it is.
Well, our second good news of the day.
Second good news.
And it's kind of not good news, except for that it's kind of funny. But this 2-year-old kid, I'll put a picture of this on because you just got to see his face. He's got a mask on.
Why is he wearing a mask?
I think because well, okay.
It's a 2-year-old kid in a jar. Why is he wearing a mask?
He got stuck in an antique wooden barrel.
That's wood?
At his grandparents' house.
That's wood?
That's it. Yeah. So, that thing is solid, first of all.
Yeah, it's solid
Can
wood.
you imagine if, like, you had this wooden barrel made by, solder now? The kid just stands up and it falls apart.
Yeah. I don't understand, like, how can you wedge yourself in and not wedge yourself out?
I had a cousin one time who, I don't know why, but he slid behind the toilet and then sat down and couldn't get up.
First off, why would you go behind the toilet?
I don't know.
In what world or universe would behind the toilet be on your list of,
this is
check out that place?
This is like a toddler. It was like, I can fit back here. Let's just sit down. And then it's like, uh-oh.
I don't think I have one behind my toilet.
I didn't either, but yeah, I'm proud of you. Thank you for that. This one thing you didn't do.
One thing we have in common: we didn't hide behind the toilet.
This kid got legs stuck in a fence. Okay, kids get put their head like through the railings and the banisters on the stairs.
Yeah, you see kids. You see like the fire department's there trying to saw the kid out of the wrought iron fence gate he wedged his head through.
So this kid's name is Dorian. He got stuck in an antique wooden barrel that he wedged himself into while at his grandparents' house this last Saturday. Oh, no. Wait a minute. I don't know if this was this last Saturday. It was last Saturday from when I looked up the article.
Nice.
I think it's fairly recently. So this article was sent in from one of our viewers. So, okay. He had to go to the hospital and get x-rays to determine where his feet, knees, and hips were before the firefighters cut him free.
See,
so he's stuck in this barrel. Is like, we're gonna take you. We're gonna X-ray you.
Could you imagine they just like wrap a rope around the top of the barrel? They just hoist him up, carry him over the shoulders.
We're gonna cut, but we don't want to cut the kid's leg off.
See, I don't think they would have had much of an issue because if they just like slowly worked their way around the barrel, once it broke through, then you just tilt the saw.
Just keep scoring.
Yeah, and you just keep going until you've cut it in half.
I would scored both sides.
Yeah.
Keep doing it, and then eventually it'll just crack in half.
Yeah, eventually it cracks in half, and if it doesn't crack in half, then just saw away at one side so it falls off.
So...
he's a little kid. His feet will grow back.
They x-rayed him before the firefighters freed him by removing parts of the bottom of the barrel, according to NBC Nashville affiliate WSMV. His father held the barrel while firefighters pulled him out of the top of it. The initial plan was to use the jaws of life to extricate Dorian, but they ended up not being necessary. Dorian, who was not injured, received a popsicle when he was finally freed because he managed to stay calm. His parents even asked the crew who helped extricate him to sign the barrel.
Could you imagine? You know how they have like that show where they sell a bunch of weird stuff at auctions?
Yeah.
Could you imagine just this going up there? It's like $700. Barrel that traps 2-year-old boys.
Yeah. It's like... So, I imagine the grandparents, because this is antique, can't be replaced. They're like, do we have to cut it?
Well, it doesn't say they cut it. It says they pulled them out.
They remove part of the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, just stick it back on.
Yeah.
Stick it back on.
The kid was in the bottom. They're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. See, he slinked in through. He slunk right on out.
Record this speech for fun. I got my leg stuck. Okay. The next article, this is kind of weird. This owl.
That guy.
This owl.
That dude right there.
Was stuck in an Alabama man's truck for hours. In the grill of the truck, you can see the grill right behind me. Right there. Whoa, right behind me there.
Yeah. So first off, how do you get inside the grill of a truck?
I know, right? You're gonna, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, but we'll get to it here. A man moving from Alabama to Southwest Florida traveled hundreds of miles with an owl stuck in the grill of his pickup truck, and the owl survived, obviously.
I had to clarify that. Won't be a good news story if you showed up, the owl was kaput.
I know, right? Tory Gray said he was on Interstate 75 when he saw the vehicle ahead of him swerve to avoid hitting a great horned owl. The owl dodged that car, but couldn't escape Gray's truck. Gray, who didn't know the owl became lodged in the front of his truck, continued his 300-mile journey to Naples, Florida.
How do you not notice?
No, he did. He noticed. He's driving. The car in front of him swerved. Is like, oh my gosh, that's an owl. And then
no, yeah. But like, you don't see the owl at all. There's your car doesn't go like,
yeah,
as you run over its corpse. How do you not think? Oh, where'd the owl go?
It'd be like if
he's just gonna suddenly pop out of your dash.
We have geese all over the place here.
Yeah.
You hit them sometimes. You know what I mean? If they fly in front of you, I've hit like animals that like fly out in front of you, and you hear it because he did, and it was like, well, okay, and you just keep going.
But like I would still look around. I'm not. I don't.
Yeah, but sometimes when you're on the interstate and you're already traveling 100 miles an hour and there's cars behind you, you don't always see where it ends up. You just figure the guy behind.
Secondly, why is an owl on the interstate flying that low?
Yeah, I don't know.
Getting day blindness or something.
I've ran over animals. I'm not gonna like say it, but you know, I don't stop when the squirrel runs out.
Yeah, but like, still, why is an owl that low?
Well, he continued on for 300 miles, and it wasn't until he arrived in Naples that he discovered his accidental passenger. Harry Potter sending letters.
What letters?
By owl.
No letters, no more.
That's what the owl was doing. So Gray called the wildlife hospital, and the Conservancy of Southwest Florida sent a volunteer to help dislodge the bird. Gray said the bird did more damage to the truck than itself.
Of course, the bird probably just like curled up and just bowling ball right into his grill.
CSF said it's optimistic the owl will make a full recovery. This great horned owl had quite a journey as he was flying across the road, minding his own business, I'll throw in there, okay? And he was hit by a pickup truck.
Well, for the record, he was flying across the road, but he was flying way too low.
Actually broke the grill.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he just curled up and just bowling balled it right into the grill.
Woo! So he was quick to call the wildlife hospital, and the volunteer Tim Thompson went over to retrieve the owl. The owl was dull and had some swelling and lacerations on one elbow. I didn't realize that owls had elbows.
The owl was dull. Well, yeah, it sounds like it slammed its head into the grill of a truck.
Due to the impact of the truck. So it's got to be warm in there too, right? You're up against it and the wind's just blowing.
See, like I think it'd be like it's got to be warm, right? But at the same time, you're driving, you're stuck to the front, so there's constant that cold breeze of 70 miles an hour blasting against you.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd still be warm in there. We used to like cook food in ours, but I don't know.
What, cook food on the grill of your truck?
You open up the engine compartment and you take like sandwiches or whatever that are wrapped in tin foil. You put it inside the engine compartment, and the heat from there will warm it up. Yeah.
See, I just open up my hood and just crack an egg over my engine block.
I just go through the McDonald's drive-thru.
No, I most certainly don't do that.
So,
wait, hold on. Owls have elbows?
So the owl was given fluids and pain medications and laser therapy and placed in a cage to recover. After a week or so of treatment, he has moved to an outside enclosure, and staff is optimistic about his recovery. I bring my frying pan with me.
So two things. One, Tim Thompson.
Tim Thompson.
Good old Timmy Boy Thompson.
Tim Thompson.
Timmy Tip Top Thompson.
Timmy Tip Top.
He's a real tall, lanky fella. Timmy Tip Top Thompson.
So that article was sent in from one of our users. Our next article was also sent in, and this one's kind of cool too. We have like an animal thing going on.
First off, why does this need to exist?
I know, right? Did you ever see the Ninja Turtles?
Which one?
Any of them?
Yeah. It's kind of a running thing when I was a kid.
Me too.
Not so much anymore.
So, we all heard the lady on the deer crossing sign, right? That she called and she says, why are they putting deer crossings where...
Why are they putting deer crossing signs? Oh, crap, I just hit a deer.
She's like, why would they put deer crossing signs where the deer population is high? Why don't they make the deer cross in a spot that's easier for the deer where they're not going to get hit?
Lady, are you aware how nature works?
You've not heard that?
I know I haven't seen that.
Oh,
I haven't seen that.
We're gonna show that after this.
Lady, are you aware how nature works?
No, she wasn't for sure. So here, right down the road from us, not too far from us. I guess it's not.
Wait. This is. I know where that is.
You know where it is. So new turtle crossing signs installed this week next to. I think it's Bussy Woods in Elk Grove Village.
I know, I always just say Busey.
Yeah. The Busey. Okay.
Next to the Busey
Elk Grove Village, that's like a stone's throw from here.
Yeah.
Along with depressed curbs installed last fall are meant to aid their annual migration pattern.
Depressed curbs are the curbs that are like this, right?
Yeah, where they're just not so high.
They're the gutter curbs.
I don't know why they would put curbs up at all, but they kind of go up at an incline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like a 1-inch thing and then it kind of goes up higher. I don't know. We don't need curbs is my opinion, but whatever.
The curbs protect the children from my rims.
Yeah. So, they're meant to aid in their annual migration pattern. So the new signs and lower curbs are placed along Beisner Road from, why do I have to name these things that?
Gloucester. From Gloucester Drive.
Gloucester Drive to Winston Drive.
Gloucester.
Gloucester Drive. Gloucester Drive to Winston Drive near the southern end of the Forest Preserve and Amita Health Alexian Brothers Medical Center. Elk Grove Village staff constructed the turtle crossing area after requests from the Forest Preserve District of Cook County. Forest Preserve staff for decades have observed and received notices of turtles stuck on the side of Beisner Road, struggling to get up and over the curb near the hospital and Village Point Church.
Near the hospital? Well, of course they're struggling to get over the curb near the hospital. They're pregnant.
So the poor turtle's like,
cholesterol.
They're making their annual, trek, and all of a sudden, the city puts in these 6-inch high concrete barriers, and the turtles are like, and cars are like flying by at whatever, and they got cars behind them, and then all they wanted to do was just get across there,
T is for turtle. What sound does the turtle make, kids?
So officials say the painted and snapping turtles follow a pattern every year, crossing. Yep. Crossing. They got those red stripes on them. Crossing from the marsh on the west side of the road to the east side, where areas of low vegetation offer safe nesting locations. Turtle crossings occurs annually from April through October, and most frequently in June and July. So, I saw a snapping turtle one time.
That's not a snapping turtle.
What was it?
That's not a snapping turtle.
No.
I thought you were about to pull a picture of a snapping turtle.
You're so funny. I saw a snapping turtle one time trying to cross the road, and I thought, this thing's going to get killed, right?
So what, did you go to help? And it's
I was going to get up there and help it, and sure enough, snapping turtles are fast. I don't know how that...
Yeah, they dart.
So it turned around and started hissing at me, and
it goes like...
Yeah. So I just wanted to, gently use my foot to sweep it across the thing. Well, it turned around and it was snapping at me. For its namesake, right?
Yeah.
So when I turned around to get behind it, because I was going to get behind it and then kind of drop kick it, like a football. The turtle, when I got close, literally jumped in the air and did a 180. And so I ran around the other side and finally... I drop kicked it. I kicked it. It hurt, actually.
Really? Kicking a dense, hard shell doesn't...
I kicked the turtle, got off the side of the road thinking, okay, I finally saved this thing. Well, it was mad.
Yeah, and it was coming back,
It was coming back to get me. It was coming to get me. And so I was like, you know what? Forget it. You want to get run over, get run over. And I drove on.
I just love how your first thought was, how do I have this turtle? Oh, I can pick it up and move over here. No, I'm going to pick it up and punt it across.
No, I didn't. I wasn't going to pick it up. Look, I was going to help the turtle. I was not going to lose a finger in the process.
Dude, it's a turtle. Their necks, sure they extend, but they can't extend and go.
No, but if it can jump and turn, it's fast. This thing, if
could you imagine it jumps and you just catch it like a waiter?
I almost
lost your dish, mademoiselle.
When I got older, I thought there's no way you can have a ninja turtle. And then I met this thing, and it is possible to have
he did a 180
ninja turtle.
That man pulled out a Mortal Kombat move on you.
Yes. Yes. Jumping turtle.
Jumping, snapping. Okay, so
see if there's a video of this thing.
Do not mess with turtle. So keep in mind, is it?
I don't know if this is friendly or not. I can't put this on here.
Yes, is it friendly?
Nope. Watch this thing. Look at this. There it is.
Yeah. They look like all sad and slow, but they can move.
And look at his eyes. His eyes are like. And this is what I did. I went behind it. I was going to just scoop it along.
Yep, right. You had to pick it up. Oh no! See, that one doesn't care. See, like the one you got.
It's you think turtle's slow? No big deal. Watch this thing.
That wasn't that fast. That man was not prepared. So wait. Okay, wait. So let me see if I got this shit. All right. So you.
Oh. That wasn't real. Was it?
It's possible that is. I think snapping turtles can lunge at you.
Oh, it did?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure snapping turtles lunge at you.
That's what happened.
So let me get this straight. So you saw a turtle. You went to nudge the turtle with your foot.
Look at that neck.
Help it across the road, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's just Master Oogway. It's fine. So, you went to nudge him. He started hissing at you, and he was like, he stands up at you.
No, he turned around, and they're fast.
But like when you got close to him, he just stands up at you.
When I got close to him, and I moved faster because I thought I can outrun a turtle.
No, you ever heard the story of the tortoise in the head?
Did a 180 and snapped at me all in that thing, and like my heart jumped.
He jumped in the spin, extended his neck, and just whipped his neck around like a rope.
It was like, man, its head like came out like it almost got me.
It whipped around and goes, it just drags its head along and just get that final
I don't want to, I was not going to like go anywhere and be like a turtle. I got messed up by a turtle.
Got messed up by a turtle.
So, in the spirit of animals, I guess, since we're running out of time on here.
Yeah, you want to? How are you gonna segue from turtles? But how are you gonna segue from punting?
Have you
turtles?
ever seen one of these? This is
what, like tiny
a mouse deer.
Yeah, they're tiny little deers. Tiny little deers.
So this tiny mouse deer was born at English Zoo. A husband and wife were walking in the sights at the Bristol Zoo Gardens when they came upon a tiny creature that stood about 8 inches tall, had round dark button eyes, and delicate shell pink pointed ears. Is that a mouse deer? Asked the wife. And the husband said, no, it's a mouse deer.
All right, guys, we're going to be right back. I'm going to punch him in the jaw real quick.
While this conversation can't be reported as verbatim, it could well have been taken place because mother mouse deer, Brienne, and proud Papa mouse deer,
proud mouse deer,
Jorah, welcomed new addition to their family a little over a month ago. Proving the adage that good things come in small packages, the bouncing baby lesser Malaysian mouse deer fawn is the height of a standard pencil.
You know, I feel like whenever you pick these articles and you come across sentences like these, your brain kicks into turbo mode. The only problem is you don't have enough processing power to keep up with it.
What did I say wrong?
No, just the fact that there's slight stumbles. You're like baby, bouncing baby, lesser Malaysian
Sometimes
mouse
I do that to
deer.
myself just because it sounds cool. So it's only the second of its species to be born at the Bristol Zoo in the past 10 years. Its predecessor, a female named Missende, was sent to a zoo in the Netherlands to participate in the breeding program there. Native to Southeast Asia, mouse deer, also known as chevrotins, are the smallest hoofed mammal in the world, while diminutive, fully grown, a lesser Malaysian mouse deer will weigh only about 3 pounds. The Bambis are classed as even-toed ungulates, which puts them in the same category as pigs, sheep, giraffe, camels, and hippos.
So I used to see these things. So I saw these things once as a kid, right?
Uh-huh.
And I legitimately thought that this is what deer looked like. Normal sized deer. That's what they looked like while they were growing. Like that's how small they started, and they grew up into like this thing that stood taller than me.
They
like I'm like,
Clifford.
I'm like, how much do you eat?
It's like Clifford the Big Red Dog. He was born as the smallest puppy alive, and then turned into like bigger than your house.
Yeah, and then there's that, and then there's just Clifford's dad, Clorf. Clorf. Yeah, have you ever seen that? Clifford it was said he was like 25 feet tall or something. Clorf is like 200 feet tall.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, Clifford's dad, Clorf. He's got a top hat, a monocle, and a mustache.
Well, right now the offspring here, as of I don't remember, 2 or 3 days ago, it was unnamed. Its gender is yet to be determined. Bristol Zoo's senior mammal keeper Paige Bly says that because the mouse deer are so small and shy, it's difficult to make the call. According to Tim Rowlands, hoofstock team leader at the Marwell Zoo in Hampshire, the tiny family's hide-and-seek behavior isn't unusual. All deer species will hide their young until they're older, so they will only really come out to feed and then hide again, he told the BBC. Here is another picture of it right here.
Okay, so thinking about it. So they're having issues identifying gender because they're small and shy.
Because you don't want to scare to death by running in and just grabbing it.
Just this tiny little deer walked up and he was like, "Hey, baby, you want to go get a drink sometime?"
Roland speaks from experience. Earlier this year, another mouse deer baby, 13-ounce Javan Chevrotin, was delivered to parents Gus and Gwen at Marwell's tropical house habitat. There are very few zoos who care for any of the mouse deer species as they are so small in size, very secretive and nocturnal, so any youngster born is great news for the conservation breeding program. Roland said, "It's vitally important that we work to ensure these wonderful animals do not disappear for good." Bly reports that Mama Bee and Baby Doe are thriving. Brienne is being a fantastic first-time mother and has been very attentive to her infant. It's doing really well and has recently started to discover new tastes such as sweet potatoes.
So one of the top searches, by the way, for mouse deer on Google is mouse deer real? People don't know. People don't
Fake news!
Yeah, exactly. So mouse deer...
I think I saw a mouse deer in a small little enclosure at a museum.
So I looked up are mouse deer endangered, and all it says is just not extinct. It just lists their extinction status. Just nope, they're still breathing somehow.
Not extinct. Well, yeah, because they're at least eating sweet potatoes.
Mouse deer, looking at them, it's legitimate. You know what it makes me think of? Looking at pictures of mouse deer, it makes me think of a mouse just with 4 human legs. That's what it's like, 4 tiny human legs.
It's like a mouse with bigger legs.
That's it. It's just a mouse. It's just a mouse with evolved legs that allow it to just stance up on people.
I want to see it. Mouse giraffe now.
God, it'll whip out its neck at you like a snapping turtle and just hyper extends its neck.
So my next article is a toddler that doesn't have hands gets a puppy that was born without a paw.
So she can't pet it and it can't pet her?
Like any happy toddler, Ivy McLeod is full of smiles and filled with wonder as she discovers the world around her. Ivy's favorite activity is coloring, but since she was born without hands, Ivy holds the markers between her toes and creates her kitty masterpieces. At the age of 2, Ivy's mom, Vanessa, says her daughter isn't fully aware of the reasons other kids have hands and she doesn't. She knows it's only a matter of time before Ivy is going to start asking some tough questions. To prepare for the inevitable conversation, McLeod came up with the idea of getting Ivy a puppy that had similar limb differences as a way to show that being different and being beautiful aren't mutually exclusive. She wanted to be able to tell Ivy, you know you were born that way because, but different is beautiful, and this puppy was also born that way and is also a beautiful thing. McLeod explained in an interview with CTV News. McLeod was worried finding a pup to fit the bill might be a long haul, but it just so happened that a 3-legged fur baby was born in their Vancouver, British Columbia neighborhood just a few short weeks after the search began. And here's her picture.
Could you imagine?
Oh,
First off, who is going to refer to a puppy as a 3-legged fur baby?
I think that you could put a thing out there because like there's lots of dogs.
No. I like the 3-legged part isn't the issue here. The fact that they're like, yeah, it's a 3-legged fur baby.
Well, I threw that in there because there's only so many times you can say dog. I'm actually upset that McLeod is in there as McLeod a bunch.
Pupper.
So here, yeah, pupper. I could have done that. So there's a picture of the pup and the little girl. As it seems like fate, they named the pup Lucky. In addition to being a way for to help Ivy understand that what makes her different need not set her apart, McLeod sees the bond her daughter and the Lucky share as they grow in the face new challenges as opportunity to shift people's perceptions. I love everything that is different about her, McLeod told CTV, so I encourage people not to view disabilities as sad or something to be pitied, but something to be celebrated. I think it's kind of cool because they're trying to, like, you know, teach her. I mean,
yeah,
there's like a lot of people that we know that just have differences, and differences are I mean, everybody's different. Just you and me, even though we're considered, you know, I have like all my body parts or whatever, but there's like a good, I think we live in a really good world where people are more accepting and understanding than what, you know, it used to be, like when, you know,
the 60s.
Like our parents were growing up, where you were like ostracized and an outcast if something was like you had 2 different color eyes or something like that, you know.
Germany.
I
mean, honest, I couldn't keep it together when he was talking about inevitable questions, because I just imagine her going to kindergarten and one of the first things is like one of the little kids walks in and is like, "Where are your hands? Did you leave them at home?"
Yeah. I think that eventually, you know, you'll get to it. I seen like this comedian. He literally had no hands, no arms or legs.
Yeah.
And he was probably the funniest guy I have ever seen.
How many jokes were about limbs?
Not so much, but, you know, people take it in good stride, and, you know, you don't want to say the wrong thing to somebody either. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, there's things that you take for granted, like, hey, give that man a hand. And then it's going to slip out one time and you're going to say it and it's going to be like,
the guy, there's guy with no arms did some archery competition, some national archery competition, won. And the guy that was presenting him went and did this and went to shake his hand, put the medal on him and went and raised his hand up.
I seen a lady use her feet to aim and nail a bullseye from.
Yeah, this guy holds it with his feet and does this and pulls it back.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's incredible. This guy where I grew up lived across the street from us, and he was missing one whole arm from like his shoulder down, maybe from here. I don't remember. But he worked for the city, and this dude could do more with his one arm than I could do with two. Like, it was super impressive. So I actually felt bad about myself later. Like, he's out there mowing the lawn and lifting things like with his one arm more than my two. And I was like, oh man, I'm like a loser. Kinda.
It's almost like this guy has decades of experience on me. So I just realized we need to change the thing that appears on the show, because it says streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh yeah, we need.
I never even took a look at that. Yeah, because Tuesday, Wednesday,
we need to change our final background thing too.
Yeah.
So speaking of change.
Speaking of change, all right.
Oops, let me do this. A developer is turning farm storage into affordable apartments. Have you ever seen one of these dome-shaped things out there in the country?
Yeah, they use it to store stuff.
Yeah. So originally these things were produced by the U.S. Navy to use in World War II. Did you know that?
Makes sense. Store of arms and ammunition.
I've only seen them like on farm property, and I was like, oh, it's just a cheap farm thing.
I would imagine it's like a prototype bunker of some sort.
Now that I know that, I want one.
Probably can buy one. Probably not that expensive.
So these were produced by the Navy for use in World War II, and now consigned primarily for for storage on farms. It's called a Quonset hut.
Mm-hmm.
It's experiencing rebirth within the residential neighborhoods of Detroit.
That makes sense, because Detroit burned itself to the ground. So.
Yeah, there's what one looks like on the inside. That looks amazing. Look at hardwood floors and everything.
Windows are nice.
Yeah, the long half-cylinder of corrugated steel prefabricated in factories was used by development companies Prince Concepts to create a unique apartment building of 8 high-ceilinged units for 30% less than comparable affordable housing in up-and-coming neighborhoods in the city. The hut isn't a design, it's a tool. Think about it the same way you think about a brick. It's a tool to achieve a purpose, explains their website. For Caterpillar Prince Concepts challenge architect Ishtaki Refutin to create an 8-unit project within one massive hut as a 9,000 square foot sculpture with 6 residents and 2 live workspaces that anchor a public park where people can soak up the majesty of a new age monument. The Caterpillar's design and financer Philip Kafka have been using these Quonset huts architecture to cut costs and offer unique housing and business opportunities in Detroit. Between the low cost of the hut and the land in the city, his projects offer prospective renters something totally unique in terms of price and style. It does look a lot different, but it doesn't look like on the inside of this is nicer than the house that I live in.
It's got a lot of open space.
Yeah.
So you'd have to fill it with something.
The True North, another rental project that consists of live workspaces which gave rise to an art gallery and a yoga studio. We used the Quonset hut to create with sculptural community with a public and semi-private outdoor nooks that residents and neighbors alike could enjoy. Marvel at and marvel in, Kafka explains. In an interview with Fast Company, the Texas-born former New York City advertisement mogul describes his work as Home Depot architecture.
We get Home Depot statement on that?
Yeah.
On that claim?
The Caterpillar rooms are between 750 and 1,375 square feet, with walls pockmarked with symmetrical window arrangements, hardwood floors, and a 23-foot high vaulted ceiling. There they are side by side. Here, I put a big.
I think would be a cool thing to do. There's giant windows up top, right?
Yeah.
You build a second layer up top. You have like stairs or something that lead up to it.
Like a loft.
Yeah, and then that's your sleeping area. You have the loft.
Yeah. So they've got like if you look at here, they've got like a ramp for like wheelchair accessible. So you could
That
actually...
is an interesting ramp.
It's kind of cool because it's like stairs or a ramp for people
like
who need like a wheelchair type of
Yeah,
thing.
it's like stairs had a stroke.
Well, it's
you
kind
know
of like...
the painting with all the clocks melting?
Yeah.
It looks like someone took stairs and then just took a little bit
It
of
looks
that
like you
painting
could
and
take
started
3 steps, keep
sprinkling
walking,
it.
and then take a couple steps up if you could use the steps. But if you have a hard time, you could actually walk up like a ramp. So it makes it kind of cool for everybody. So you get a sunrise view in your bedroom and a sunset view in your living room. That was the intention. It's all about light, this project, Kafka explained. The real benefit isn't that the hut lets me build a project so inexpensively. It's that it lets me give people extremely high quality space for a reasonable price. In addition, the landscape is bespoke and features a wraparound deck, gardens, and 40 trees. The project was leased months before it was officially finished. There's one more picture, I think. Oh, no, that was
It's the kid.
with raw wood, steel pipes, and other construction materials fully visible inside. The Caterpillar and the True North, for that matter, were designed with artists in mind whose creativity would be able to be unleashed upon the raw space. Kafka said he doesn't want to become the Quonset hut guy, only that it allows him to build bold spaces and buildings on the cheap side, as he mentioned earlier. They are merely a tool for him to do a job, which is hopefully bring a bit of creative artistry to a dilapidated neighborhoods of the Motor City.
Good Lord.
Dilapidated. I turned that dilapidated word into a dinosaur, I think.
You turn that dilapidated.
Dilapidated.
You turn that dilapidated word into a new word. That
Dilapidated.
I'm pretty sure would constitute as you having a stroke.
I used to use dilapidated quite regularly, because I see some pretty rough looking houses sometimes.
Dilapidated. Your house is pretty dilapidated.
Dilapidated. So,
This is weird.
what's weird?
It's like for the first time ever, we got through all the news stories.
Well, I actually cut.
Well, I know, but I mean like all the news stories you had on your list for when the show started.
So I had, because we didn't do it last week,
Yeah.
I had an exorbitant amount of ones, and
So
I knew
why
I
didn't
was
you
going
use
to.
some of them?
I did.
Should have used more.
I cut out more of them because, I would like to let all you guys know, I appreciate you sending in articles. I
Yeah,
really
the
do.
man goes on about them the whole week.
I like, and when someone sends something, I try to put those stories first
Of course.
because I do appreciate it. It is kind of nice not having to find it out myself, but I like reading good. I like reading good news. We were on our way home last night, and I can't describe to you what happened, but there was a semi truck, and the front end of it was like smashed sideways, and all of its material that was on top of the truck was somehow under the truck. Now I can't imagine what happened that caused that to be that way, but there were police out there and
Got hit
everything.
by an owl.
It got hit by an owl from the side. So if the cargo is sitting on top,
Yeah.
something hit it from the side because the truck was like this, but this cargo here was now underneath it. So how did that happen?
It's possible that I got hit with enough force that it rolled. The trailer rolled.
But the rest of the stuff on the back was perfectly fine.
Well, if it's strapped down enough and the trailer rolls, then it won't throw it off.
Yeah, but it was all like, what was here was like crates.
Or
so it was like
the crates
crushed.
got knocked off. Hit enough force, crates got knocked off, and the trailer slid on
This is
top
like
of them.
something that you would see where like two superheroes are fighting or something, and it caused damage that can't be explained. I should have taken pictures, but it was dark.
Telling you,
I
crates
couldn't-
got knocked off, trailer was sliding, trailer slid over the crates.
Yeah. So, we appreciate you guys all watching. Let's see here. I don't know if anybody else joined. Good to see you, Commander Root, Sav. I saw
Commander
Super
Root,
Ellie on there.
man.
All you people that are watching that haven't logged in, we appreciate you watching here now. I don't know why that said save. Hopefully I didn't mess something up. We look forward to seeing you next week, next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If everything works out.
Yeah, if everything works
We don't
fine.
have any crazy unexplained.
Maybe we'll beat one level.
We'll beat one
of
level.
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we need to do some cleanup to the studio here, and
A little bit.
I've got like some ideas on changing some things around here, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we need to get new footage recorded and edited.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I would like to
put some stuff in After
I
Effects.
do like my Superman landing.
Yeah,
snapping my ankle.
It would be nicer
while
if
falling out of
the Superman landing would be good if we didn't accidentally bump the camera a little bit when we were recording the final part.
So when I was growing up, I went to my friend's house, and we climbed up to his roof and then jumped off of his roof onto the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun and exciting.
Yeah, as you do.
Sometimes you would hit the trampoline and you would go over the side of the trampoline. You hit the ground and you just you tuck and roll. You get bruises. I had so many I got bruised and scraped every single day of my life growing up. And if I didn't, it was because, I don't know, I was sick or something.
I was grounded.
Yeah, I was grounded. So we had a great time until his mom caught us. I thought she was having a stroke. The idea of your kids jumping off of the roof and landing on the trampoline.
Imagine she came outside just in time to see him fly on the trampoline and fly off into the grass. She
was really upset. And I remember like thinking, we landed on a trampoline. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, this is exciting.
And then I jumped, and I missed the trampoline.
Here, look, I could jump on the trampoline and just jump. Okay, boring. Let's do this from jumping off of a roof, jumping off of a fort. We did all kinds of stuff. So now that I'm older and I look back, my heart jumps like, you could literally fall, flip forward, land on your head and break your neck and like die in somebody's backyard. And nobody, now that I own a house, right? There is this thing, like, you don't want someone to die in your backyard.
Makes your insurance go up.
Like, that's just one of my goals in life, is to not have someone
die in your backyard.
Yeah, or the front yard for that matter.
Just not in your yard.
Yeah.
Die in the neighbor's yard. Not mine.
But as a teenage boy, and you'll think things through. You don't. I'm sorry. I know you don't, because I was in your shoes not too long ago. In fact,
you've watched some of the stuff I've done.
Pretty sure, like, last week, I could say that I jumped on a roof one time, and I was too lazy to get my ladder out, so I climbed up onto this guy's railing on the deck and then jumped from there onto there, and I was fine until it started raining. And then when I went to get down,
I slipped.
I jumped back onto the railing, which was now wet, and hit the railing, hit the bushes, and it was like as I'm laying there.
The whole and then you jump up, crashing through the trees.
You jump up and you hope that like no one saw you, so you're limping to your car and your arms like dangling there, right? And you're trying to get out of there before they come out and they're like, "Hey, how are you?"
just, hey, how are you? Okay. I'm great. Do you know where a chiropractor is by?
I'm gonna be calling you a little bit later.
He's like, by chance, you have a chiropractor in town?
Yeah, are you okay?
Oh yeah, I just thought of something. I have to get home.
I forgot to take my Advil this morning. So, anyway, don't do that. Do not try that at home or at work or anywhere else for that matter. We appreciate you guys watching. We will see you next week. We got to get him to his award ceremony. We hope you have a great night. See you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye-bye.